Picture this. You're at a bonfire party. Late summer night, good friends, cold beers, and a fire that's just the right size. Big enough to feel primal, small enough to feel safe. Someone's playing music, someone else is roasting marshmallows. And then Jake, your idiot friend Jake, dares you to jump over the flames. It's tradition, he says. Everyone's done it. The fire's maybe 3 feet high. You're athletic. You've seen the videos on Instagram. People do this all the time. So you back up, take a running start, and launch yourself over the fire. Except your foot catches the edge of a log, or your jacket's looser than you thought, or maybe you just misjudged the height. Doesn't matter. 1 second you're airborne, the next you're in the fire. You didn't plan to be on fire tonight. But here's the thing about fire. It doesn't care about your plans. Let's talk about what happens when your body becomes fuel. All right, so you're on fire. Let's talk about what's happening in your brain right now, because spoiler alert, it's not what you think. Second 0 to 2. Confusion. You don't immediately realize you're burning. Your brain registers heat, sure, but not I'm on fire heat. More like I'm standing too close to the fire heat. There's a delay. Your nervous system is trying to process information it's never encountered before. You might look down at your leg or your sleeve and see flames, but your brain's going, that can't be right. That's not supposed to be happening. This is called cognitive dissonance, and it's about to get you killed. Second 2 to 5. Ignition. Your clothing catches properly now. And here's where fabric matters. If you're wearing cotton, jeans, a hoodie, it burns relatively slowly, creating these big visible flames that climb up your body like a curtain. If you're wearing synthetic materials, polyester, nylon, anything athletic or trendy, those don't just burn, they melt. At temperatures between 300 and 500 degrees Fahrenheit, synthetic fabrics liquefy and bond to your skin like napalm. You're not just on fire, you're being coated in burning plastic that you can't wipe off. Second 5 to 10. Pain. Now your pain receptors activate. But it's not movie fire pain. It's not clean or dramatic. It's pressure first, like someone's pressing a hot iron against you, and then it's searing, and then it's this weird wet sensation because your skin is blistering and weeping fluid. You thought you'd scream immediately. You do scream, but not right away. There's this 2-second gap where you're just frozen, staring at yourself. And then the sound comes out, and it's not a movie scream. It's guttural, primal, a sound you didn't know you could make. Why you don't stop, drop, and roll. Remember all those fire safety lessons from elementary school? Stop, drop, and roll? Yeah, you're not doing that. Because you're in full panic mode. Your brain's flooded with adrenaline. You're not thinking, you're reacting. And your reaction is to run, to swat at the flames, to do anything except lie down on the ground like you're supposed to. Also, let's be real, you're drunk, or at least tipsy. Your reaction time is already compromised. Your decision-making is already impaired. And now you're asking your body to execute a calm, deliberate maneuver while you're literally on fire. Good luck with that. By second 10, the fire's spreading faster than you can react. If your hair catches, and it probably has because you were leaning over the fire when you fell, that's game over for your face and scalp. Hair ignites almost instantly. It burns fast, smells like sulfur and burnt protein, and melts down to your scalp. You're not reacting fast enough. You never were, and now it's everywhere. All right, let's talk about what fire actually does to human tissue. Because you're not just burning, you're being cooked, layer by layer. And your body's about to teach you a biology lesson you really didn't want to learn. Second 10 to 20. First-degree burns. You're already past this. First-degree burns are what you get from a bad sunburn. Red skin, some pain, heals in a week. You blew past this stage about 8 seconds ago. We're not even talking about first-degree burns anymore. We're talking about what comes next. Second 20 to 40. Second-degree burns, maximum pain. This is where it gets bad. Second-degree burns go through your epidermis, the outer layer of skin, and into the dermis underneath. Your skin blisters. Those blisters rupture. The dermis is exposed. And here's the thing about second-degree burns. They hurt the most. Because your nerve endings are still intact. They're damaged, but they're still firing. Still sending pain signals to your brain at maximum volume. You're feeling every single bit of this. Your skin is turning red, then white, then this mottled pink and white pattern. Fluid is leaking everywhere. Your body's trying to cool itself, trying to heal itself, but it can't keep up. The fire's moving faster than your biology can respond. Second 40 to 60. Third-degree burns, when pain becomes mercy. And now we hit third degree. This is where the fire burns through the dermis and into the subcutaneous fat layer below. Your nerve endings are destroyed, and paradoxically, this is where you start to feel less pain in the worst areas. Not because you're healing, because there's nothing left to send pain signals. Your skin turns leathery, white in some places, charred black in others. It doesn't bleed, the blood vessels are cauterized. You might see your own muscle tissue. If the fire's hot enough and you're unlucky enough, you might see bone. And here's the really messed up part. You're still conscious for most of this. The smell. Let's talk about the smell, because nobody talks about the smell, and you're about to experience it firsthand. Burning hair smells like sulfur. Burning skin smells like pork, because chemically, we're very similar to pigs. Burning fat, your subcutaneous fat rendering and dripping, smells like rancid cooking oil. And burning muscle smells like charred meat, because that's literally what it is. You know what a barbecue smells like? Congratulations, you're the barbecue. Why you can't just put it out. Fire needs three things: fuel, oxygen, and heat. You're providing all three. Your clothes are fuel, your body fat is fuel, the air around you is oxygen. And once you're burning hot enough, you're generating your own heat. Stop, drop, and roll works if you do it immediately, but you didn't. You panicked. You ran. You gave the fire more oxygen. And now your back's on fire, your hair's on fire, your chest is on fire. And good luck reaching all of those areas while you're flailing around in agony. Your friends are trying to help. Someone's screaming for water. Someone's trying to tackle you to the ground. Someone's filming because in 2026, that's what people do. But unless someone's got a fire extinguisher or a large blanket right now, you're burning for at least another 30 seconds. Physiological collapse. Your body's going into shock. Your blood pressure's dropping. Your brain's being starved of oxygen, not because you can't breathe, but because your cardiovascular system is failing under the trauma. You're also inhaling superheated air. Every breath you take is searing your throat, your trachea, your lungs. The inside of your respiratory system is cooking. You're going to drown in your own fluids before the burns kill you. In movies, people on fire run around screaming for 30 seconds, then dramatically collapse. In reality, you collapse after 10, maybe 15 seconds. The screaming stops when your lungs stop working. And somewhere in that chaos, you stop being a person and start being a medical emergency. Your body fat has a similar ignition point to candle wax, by the way. Congratulations, you're self-sustaining now. So let's say you survive. Let's say your friends got the fire out in time. Let's say the ambulance arrived fast enough. Let's talk about what your life looks like now. If you survive, welcome to the burn unit. You're in a specialized burn center now. And here's what the next few months look like. Debridement. That's the medical term for scraping off your dead tissue while you're awake. They can't put you fully under for every session. You die from the anesthesia. So you get to feel them peeling away charred skin, layer by layer, to prevent infection. Then come the skin grafts. They take skin from somewhere else on your body, usually your thighs or back, and transplant it to the burned areas. It doesn't match. It never matches. You're going to look like a patchwork quilt made of human flesh. The surgeries are multiple. 5, 10, 20 procedures over months or years. The scars are permanent, thick, keloid, restrictive. If the burns were on your joints, hands, elbows, knees, you're looking at reduced mobility for life. Physical therapy, pain management, opioid dependence probably. And the psychological trauma? PTSD from the fire itself, body dysmorphia from the scars, social anxiety because people stare. You'll never feel warmth the same way again. A candle, a stove, a campfire, they'll all trigger you now. You thought jumping over a bonfire made you look cool. Now you're a cautionary tale with a GoFundMe. If you don't survive, how you actually die. Here's the thing about fatal burn injuries. Most people don't die from the fire itself. They die from shock, infection, or smoke inhalation. Your lungs were seared when you gasped. Superheated air cooked your respiratory tract. Fluid built up. You drowned in your own tissue breakdown. Or your cardiovascular system collapsed from the trauma. Or you develop sepsis 3 days later because burned skin can't fight infection. The fire was just the delivery mechanism. The actual cause of death? Systemic failure. The statistics. 180,000 people die from burn injuries every year worldwide. Most of them are preventable. Most involve alcohol, overconfidence, or split-second decisions. It'll be fine. I've done this before. It's not that high. Fire doesn't care about your track record. Why this keeps happening? Here's the thing about fire. It's everywhere in human culture. Candles, campfires, gas stoves, fireplaces, birthday cakes. We're so comfortable with it that we forget it's a chemical reaction that consumes organic matter at 1,100 degrees Fahrenheit. You use fire to cook dinner. Fire uses you the same way. We're really bad at assessing risk for things that seem familiar. You're scared of shark attacks even though they kill 5 people a year. But a bonfire at a party? That's tradition. That's fun. That's Instagram content. Except now you're the content, and the comment section is not kind. So here's the takeaway. Fire's been around for 1,000,000 years. Your species has been using it for 400,000. And in all that time, we still haven't learned to respect it. You thought you were the exception. You weren't. You were just the next statistic. Subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and if you're planning a bonfire party this weekend, maybe just don't.